Christina Hawk has become a fixture in tabloids thanks to her turbulent personal life and romantic entanglements. But that's only part of her complex life story. Here's the untold truth of the star of the hit HGTV show Flip or Flop. Christina Hawk made her name inspiring the nation to flip houses. In 2017, for example, more than 207,000 American properties were bought and then quickly resold. However, when it comes to building a human connection, the realtor much prefers working with those who haven't purchased a home simply for profit. In 2019, Hawk proved she could cut it as a solo artist when she landed another show on the HGTV network. As with Flip or Flop, which she continues to co-present alongside ex-husband Tarek El Moussa, Christina on the Coast sees the reality TV star help to give a glow-up to houses that have seen better days. But the difference here is that the work carried out is for the benefit of existing homeowners. 2 years after the show premiered, Hawk told E! That she couldn't be happier about its premise, saying, "I love working with the homeowners as opposed to doing flips because I feel like it's so much more personal. I'm redesigning for people and families, and getting to know them and their style is fun, and the transformations are huge. The look on their faces when they walk through the door is everything for me." In 2016, Christina Hawk and Tarek El Moussa announced their split and said in a statement via People, "Like many couples, we have had challenges in our marriage." The challenge that ultimately ended their relationship, however, was on a different scale. Several months previously, police had been called to the Chino Hills State Park Main Ridge Trail over reports of a man with a gun. People magazine reported that nearly a dozen officers took to the area, with a nearby witness claiming that they'd spotted El Moussa jumping over his fence to the hiking trail while armed. The neighbor had been informed by a visibly upset Hawk that her then-husband had left their family home with a gun in his backpack. Luckily, the Flip or Flop co-host was swiftly located and immediately complied with officers before returning home. El Moussa insisted that his handgun was only to fend off any dangerous wildlife on the trail.
I went up for a hike to scout some trails. It wasn't even a big deal. I didn't understand, it got really blown out of proportion.
No charges were ever filed regarding the incident, which the divorced former couple described as an unfortunate misunderstanding. Christina Hawk and Tarek El Moussa's marriage may have ended following some rather dramatic circumstances in 2016, but the pair have since managed to patch up their differences for the sake of their careers and their kids. Many Flip or Flop fans thought the show would end following the couple's divorce, but instead it's gone from strength to strength. The exes appear to be just as cordial off-screen too. Referring to their parental duties in 2018, Hawk told Us Weekly, "We have a schedule where we make sure that if one of us has to travel, that the other picks up for the other one. And we just make sure that whatever's best for the kids is what we're going to do."
Now that we're divorced and we have separate personal lives, balancing business can be tricky.
Interestingly, the Christina on the Coast star also has a healthy relationship with El Moussa's new partner, Selling Sunset star Heather Rae Young. In another Us Weekly interview, Hawk revealed, "We'll text each other random recipes right now during isolation. She'll send me whatever her favorite go-to granola bar is, and I'll text her back whatever mine is." As well as transforming various Californian homes, Christina Hawk's second HGTV series also explores her passion for wellness. While promoting Christina on the Coast in 2021, the star, who has a thyroid disease called Hashimoto's and polycystic ovary syndrome, told ET, "That's one of the most important things to me, is just staying mentally and physically healthy. With autoimmune conditions, if I don't take time to meditate and go for walks and focus on spirituality, I will just kind of hit a wall. And I don't really have that option with kids and work and everything. So that's just a big part of my journey."
When you have a low thyroid production, that affects so many things.
Hawk proved just how invested she was in the subject a year earlier when she co-wrote a book, The Wellness Remodel. Christina Hawk surprised everyone when she walked down the aisle with British TV host Ant Anstead in 2018, the same year that she'd officially finalized her divorce from Tarek El Moussa. Sadly, it didn't prove to be second-time lucky, as by the end of 2020, the Flip or Flop star was once again heading for the divorce court. Hawk took to Instagram to announce that she'd separated from the father of her third child, telling her followers in a since-deleted post, "We are grateful for each other, and as always, our children will remain our priority. We appreciate your support and ask for privacy for us and our family as we navigate the future. The HGTV regular has kept quiet about the specific reasons for the split, but Hawk didn't waste any time in distancing herself even further from Anstead. Within 6 months of filing for divorce, she put their Newport Beach home up for sale for a whopping $6 million. The fact that the near 5,000 square foot property was the venue for their winter wedding may well have played a part in Hawk's hastiness, too. Christina Hawk's squeaky clean reputation took a bit of a hit in 2016 when she and then husband Tarek El Moussa were accused of scamming aspiring house flippers. The pair had appeared on promotional material for a series of classes, which suggested that they'd physically be in attendance to impart their property renovating wisdom. But it's fair to say that those who signed up didn't get what they expected.
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh, God, it is. Just ignore them.
Instead of teaching at the front of the classroom, Hawk and El Moussa only appeared via pre-recorded video, and the introductory session appeared designed solely to encourage attendees to spend thousands of dollars on further classes and software. One man, Doug Stevens, claimed to Associated Press that his group was even asked to get an increase on their credit card limit as homework in order to pay for such additions. Another attendee, Patricia Briggs, admitted that whenever Hawk and El Moussa do show up on screen, I want to go through my screen and shake the both of them. The Utah-based education company insisted that they'd never explicitly promised the Flipper Flop stars would be attending every session. However, this didn't stop the FTC from filing a temporary restraining order against the firm in 2019. The former couple at the center of all the drama, though, have never commented on the issue. Christina Hawk and Tarek El Moussa first became parents in 2010, the year after they got married, with the birth of daughter Taylor. But their attempts to welcome a second child into the world were a little more complicated. In 2013, the pair decided to freeze El Moussa's sperm before he underwent radiation therapy for testicular and thyroid cancer, two conditions from which he thankfully recovered. Their first attempt at in vitro fertilization sadly failed, and tragically, their second resulted in a miscarriage. However, on the third try, son Braden arrived in 2015. Hawk later told People, "I had to be really strict. I had to do 1 full week in bed. For 13 weeks after that, I couldn't go for a walk and couldn't lift anything over a gallon of milk. At around 6 weeks pregnant, I started spotting, so I thought that we lost the baby again." The Flipper Flop star also had a hard time while carrying her third child in her first trimester. In a since-deleted Instagram post, she wrote, "Maybe I just forgot how bad it was with Tay and Bray, but yikes. It really blindsided me." Son Hudson, her only child with second husband Ant Anstead, arrived via C-section in 2019. Having adopted the surnames of her now ex-husbands, Tarek El Moussa and Ant Anstead, the Flipper Flop star decided that, as a single woman, it was high time she put her family name in the spotlight. She changed her moniker on Instagram to her maiden name, Christina Hawk, and revealed how happy her late grandparents would be about her decision. Hawk wrote on Instagram, "My grandma, Mildred Biddy Hawk, was my greatest influence growing up. She was always real in a world of so many fakes. I spent the summers on my family's farm, and we would stay up all night talking. She's the only person I've ever really trusted with my life. Taking back the family's last name and know my grandparents are smiling from above." Christina Hawk has unfortunately experienced one of the major pitfalls of being a celebrity in the digital age, and that's online abuse. For instance, take the time she uploaded an innocuous selfie to Instagram in 2021, wearing an all-black sweatshirt and jeans combo. While many of the comments were positive, there was also a significant amount of questionable feedback about her weight. As quoted by Heavy, one follower remarked, "I feel her thinness isn't because she eats healthy and exercises. I hope people that love her will help her." Another user apparently responded, "There's a sadness and emptiness in her eyes." Noticing this display of body shaming, Hawk herself was quick to shoot down any rumors in the comments section, adding, "Chill people, I eat, and I eat healthy." But it's not just Hawk's health that has been called into question. Following her split from second husband Ant Anstead, many online troublemakers pointed out that Hawk rarely posted anything on social media about their son, Hudson. Understandably, the Christina on the Coast host soon fired back to refute the claims. She captioned an Instagram post with, "I hardly post anymore, and I do not want to post my kids every freaking day to make it a contest of who's a better parent for that. This doesn't mean I'm not with my kids. It means the opposite. I am with them. I'm present." Christina Hawk may have been unlucky in love on several occasions, but she hasn't given up on finding the man she really does end up spending the rest of her life with. In June 2021, she told E!, "I believe that everyone deserves to have love and find love, and I hope that happens for me." However, Hawk insisted that she had no plans to go on the hunt for Mr. Right just yet, saying, "It would take a really special someone, and my goal right now is just to focus on my kids and keeping my private life as private as it can possibly be." That same month, Hawk's second ex-hubby, Ant Anstead, proved he had no such qualms about re-entering the dating game. Per TMZ, the motoring expert managed to woo the one and only Renee Zellweger after they worked together on the Discovery Plus show Celebrity IOU Joyride. By July 2021, Hawk's romantic life made headlines once again when she was spotted holding hands with Texan realtor Joshua Hall at LAX, as the pair jetted off on a trip to celebrate Hawk's birthday. A source cited by People claimed, "They recently started dating each other, and it was an immediate, real connection. They've enjoyed getting to know each other one-on-one without outside noise." It's safe to say that Christina Hawk makes a pretty penny thanks to her many ventures. During the early years of Flip or Flop, it's reported that Hawk and her ex-husband earned $10,000 each per episode. That figure had increased fourfold by the time the show entered its third season. And then, in 2019, when Hawk was married to Ant Anstead, she was deemed to be earning $50,000 for every episode of her own show, Christina on the Coast. It's little wonder then that, according to Celebrity Net Worth, the interior designer has approximately $12 million in the bank, and she's still adding to her tally. Hawk has 3 shows on the Home and Garden TV network, and she also sold her Newport Beach pad in 2021 for nearly $2 million more than she'd paid for it just 3 years earlier. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite HGTV stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.